Hi, welcome to learningtocook.com. In today's session, we'll be doing a pot roast. So I have a beautiful chuck roast, which I like to use for a pot roast. Now, what I've done with this chuck roast is put it in wine, red wine, and some cloves of garlic, and sliced onions, some fresh thyme, and drizzled olive oil over that. You can see how it absorbed a beautiful color overnight. I have not salted it. I will salt that prior to cooking. It's important when you marinate meats in a wet marinade not to salt them overnight because it will toughen and pull all the moisture out. You always want to cut into two sections or two spheres or lobes. So now we can salt it. I like to use sea salt. Don't be afraid to salt meat, especially salting it when you go to grill it. Be liberal. Perhaps a little less when you salt meat for this pot roast because it's somewhat in liquid and somewhat dry heat. I'm now going to dust or dredge these nice sections of a thick chuck roast. It was an inch or so in thickness. It weighed 3.5 to 4 pounds. That's important. You can put garlic powder in the flour if you want. Any flavoring that you enjoy. I have in here some hot oil, and I'm going to lay my meat down. And it's sizzling. Could be a little hot, but it's going to brown up really nice. And this side as well. Okay, now that we have our two spheres of that beautiful chuck, by salting it now and flouring it, it has a beautiful color. Beef pot roast. So it's roasting, but now we have to add some liquid. So I'm going to add, again, some wine. So I'm going to add some wine to this so it deglazes. A little flavor. I'm going to add some nice beef stock because this gives us that nice pot roast sauce that we like. You know, a good pot roast actually has to be made over a 2-day period. We will braise this covered for 2 or 3 hours till it's nice and tender with foil. So half up is the braise. And then you take it out and save the sauce and refrigerate the meat in the sauce because the next day is when a pot roast is at its best flavor, not the same day. You have it sit in the sauce overnight, and then it carves much nicer too. Carves much better. So the best pot roasts sit overnight in their sauce. So we're going to bring this to a boil. I'm going to add some black pepper to that, freshly ground black pepper to that. So this is a traditional pot roast. Roasted the meat first. Had a nice marinade. I discarded the marinade. I'm going to bring this to a boil, and when it comes to a boil, I'm going to cover it and place it in the oven until fork tender. You see that's raw now, so it's perfectly raw. So it's fork tender. And then when it's done, we'll show you how to carve it. All right, I just took the pot roast out of the oven. It is looking beautiful. I'm going to show you that sauce that's in there. And you certainly can go and baste it if you wish to. I did not baste it, but I'm going to do that now because it'll just moisten the part that's been in the dry heat. It absorbed all the liquid. How do we know a pot roast is done? Fork tender. Fork tender. See? Beautiful. Now we're going to let it rest, preferably overnight in the sauce. Tomorrow, take it out of the sauce, slice it, reheat the sauce, pour it over, and we'll show you that. So our pot roast stayed overnight in the sauce. That makes the pot roast have great flavor. Like any stew or any braised dish, the next day is always better. So now we're going to carve it. So I'm carving it so that you can see that nice pot roast color. You can slice the pot roast as thin as you like. I think that's probably as thick as you want to slice a pot roast. And then you will reheat this up in the oven. You can put the pot roast back in a 300-degree oven to reheat, I put some sauce on the, well, that really feels very tender. Let's put just a little more sauce on the top. And let's put some sauce over this nice section here as well. And there we have our beautiful pot roast. Enjoy.